Hello, I am joined by the gorgeous Isaya today. Come and say hi, Isaya, and tell people what it is that you do in the world.
Hey everyone, I'm Isaiah. What do I do in the world? Oh, that's a very complicated question. I'm a traveling priestess. I'm a magical, pragmatic inspiration mentor, and my main purpose in life, I think, is to feel and spread the joy.
Oh,
I
I love
think. I
that.
think that would be. And I'm a goddess teacher.
Beautiful. So tell us about your journey with LightWeb and when you first joined LightWeb and what that was like and what that experience was like.
So I first joined LightWeb when it wasn't even called LightWeb. It was called 333 something, if I remember.
333
So
Magic,
that
the
was
framework.
the first iteration of the thing. And this is part of the thing that I remember for the whole of my life. It's like I was in Greece by the sea, kind of fulfilling a lifelong dream of renting this apartment where I was. And I was listening to the sessions, and there was a very, very bad Wi-Fi connection, to be honest. And so I ended up doing most of the sessions at the cafe that was at the bottom of the building. So it was evening, with a view of the sea, just literally on the beach, basically. And I was listening to you explaining this and taking us into this completely magic universe, while being surrounded by Greek Greeks drinking and having fun, and it was just like completely surreal. And I this is part of my very, very good memories of LightWeb. It's like literally the power of being connected to the LightWeb could overpower the noise, the craziness, the Greeks. I got hit on, for heaven's sake, while during one of the sessions. So it was like, and all of that did not matter because I felt connected,
Beautiful. I
basically.
love that.
Um,
Tell
and
us a
yeah,
little
and
bit about.
I've been in LightWeb ever since. I have most of the repeated sessions. I've done the activations again live. Um, I don't do I don't redo all the things every time, but the activation I'll try to make time to do that live if I can, because I think it's like a vaccine. It's good to have a shot, your recap of the thing. And for me, that's the magic thing about LightWeb, is that I don't need to do anything about it. I just need to remember and go there.
Beautiful. I love that. Tell us what that very, very first LightWeb activation was like. Would you class yourself as a person that feels energy? Like, how was I know that you're quite open to woo things, but
Do I feel energy? Yeah, I do feel energy. I don't see it the way you do, but
Mhm.
I feel it definitely. Um, what happened the first time during the first activation, which I was not in a restaurant for that one. I was in a private space, which was good because it was really kind of almost frightening. I literally elevated and like flying, like wings, like proper feeling the wings in my back. And it was like, oh, fuck, how can I be this big? How can I be the container of that much energy, basically? And
Amazing.
it was a connection to the light web, which is life changing. But it was also the discovery of a connection to angels. Um,
Beautiful.
so it was kind of a double whammy, but in a good sense.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's one of the things with LightWeb is everybody really receives that like activation so differently. It's the same activation for everyone, but everybody just receives it so differently. And it's beautiful to hear your experience and how you experienced almost like an instantaneous connection with your multidimensional self.
Yeah, for
Suddenly
me
you were like,
yeah,
holy moly, I am
yeah.
this big.
There is this more of me, and there is this more of the universe, basically. Because when I landed, let's put it this way, on my node, it was like, oh my god, this is so huge. Like and it made so much sense at the same time. It was like home and, oh my God, I've never imagined that. It was both the things. And then I could see LightWeb everywhere for the whole summer after that. I was looking at the sea from my balcony, and you could see that the sunlight was designing a web. LightWeb. Then there was, it was like everywhere. I turn around in the real world, I would see LightWeb. And then I thought, yeah, that's why it makes sense, because it's been there all along. It's just me who wasn't connected.
I
It's
love
part of the reasons why I will always be a follower of yours.
Oh,
because you introduced me there, and this is, oh, sorry, it makes me cry. It's so big and so loving.
it's that loving energy, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just incredible. LightWeb is a very, very hard, the struggle that I have to try and describe LightWeb to people who are not LightWeb activated. It's a very difficult thing to kind of try and put into words, because as you're saying, it's so huge, it's so big, it's life-changing. And yet when we use those description words, we tell someone nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know.
And it is quite a hard thing. But as somebody who's been through that process, what would you say that your differences on a kind of daily basis has been? Have you felt like it's a tool that you've been able to use? It's a tool that
so there are many differences. The most potent one is I've never felt alone again, ever.
Oh, goosebumps.
And that includes other people, like real people who I can meet up there as well. But that includes the whole of the thing, basically, that I've never felt alone or disconnected anymore. And I don't do LightWeb. It's like, it's part of my life, but I don't do consciously daily connections or whatever. It's like it's always there now. And I will take some time out of my life sometimes to consciously go and connect, but not I don't need to be doing it every day. It's not like if you don't eat you die. Basically, it's like now a part of me is always up there.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
the most complicated thing for me was the tether thing. So it was like, because I don't speak a very good English at the time, and so the most complicated part was kind of separating in order to go there. And I realized then I could be in both places. I could be right here talking to you, and there's a part of me that is up there, and that is feeling the love and the connection and the yeah, this not feeling alone and not feeling that basically ever since being LightWeb activated, there's something around I matter, because we all matter.
Absolutely. That's perfect.
Ooh, that's giving me a lot of emotions today. I didn't expect that.
But it's so true. We do all matter. And I think when we connect to the LightWeb, we get that sense of how important our light is for Earth, and how important that connection is as well, that, we're never been alone, and we have this incredible cheerleading squad in the spirit world that are so there for us, even though we had no idea. And all the times that we've maybe experienced that disconnection and experienced that feeling of aloneness, realizing like, oh, but all along this energy was here for us.
It's available. This idea that it's available, and that it's not, you don't need to be I'm not particularly, I know you had your story of being a spiritual person there for a very long time. I'm not. I was raised as a very, very rational person. Both my parents were kind of, if you can't touch it, it doesn't exist. I was not raised religious at all, basically atheist completely. So all this was kind of, crazy woo-woo to start with. And that's one of the things I wanted to say, is you don't need to be you don't need there's no prerequisite degree to connect with LightWeb. You just, anyone can, you just need an introduction, but you don't need to be a medium or a channel, or because I was just like your random person. And even more than your random person, I had been brainwashed into everything that you can't see doesn't exist. So I was almost against it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wanted to it's not only for crazy woo-woo people, it's for everyone, basically.
I love it. I love it. Tell us, how has things like manifestation, intuition, you've talked a lot about how you always feel connected now, which is beautiful. Have you felt like you've seen an improvement like in things like intuition and
So
things
in
like
in things like intuition, definitely. It's like it's opened up both the permission and the skills to guide my life, basically, with my intuition, with my connection with the divine, and to just follow along whatever weird ideas came into my mind at some point from who knows where. So I've been called to go and open a TikTok channel and go and sing in there. So I'm doing that, and I don't have a clue why, and so basically, yeah, that is, and that's so fun and so nice to be able to trust that, that part of me that I don't rationally understand, but that I know is working for my highest good, whatever the highest good means. So yeah, that has been, and that has definitely been, every time I go into LightWeb and get another activation or just simply connect. I've also been allowed, let's put it this way, or I gave myself permission, whatever, to use the tools. So the violet flame, the blessing balls of light, and there's so many tools that you can use when you LightWeb activated very casually, I would say, kind of, hey, let's do this, and so yeah, it has introduced a lot of change. As far as manifestations go, I don't know, because I don't see manifestation as something like a strict exchange. It's not like an order that I place in the universe. It's not like I want this car and then I get this car, thank you, LightWeb. It's, for me, it's more about, how does my life look like today compared to how does it look like before? It's like I can't, it's sorry. Yeah, it's mostly about that. So I'm manifesting a different life, as in life experience. How do I feel every day? And it's like another world. I
it's
can't
definitely a before and after event, isn't it?
definitely, but also and for me is really important, it's the fact that you are generous to give lifetime access to the LightWeb course means that every time we can grow in it, and we can get bigger in our connections, which I think is amazing, because it's not it's frightening, to be honest. The first time it felt also frightening to be that big. How can I be that happy, So the of being again and again, and very helpful for me.
Amazing. I love giving the lifetime access because I think it's so important, because this information is not static. It evolves. As you evolve, it evolves.
Yeah.
And I think, to honor that evolution, it is something that you don't just do once, you do it for life. And it's something that, it's so important to me that I give that access, lifetime access, that you can come along to the live rounds. Once you're in, and you can come along to the live rounds. I think it just makes the journey. And I feel like every time I do the activations, we elevate to another plane.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that the what you're teaching is not the same, basically. I've been there all along, as we were saying, and I don't know if it's you or if it's me or if it's both. But I think it's both. And I think it's also the fact that the more of us that are activated, the more of us that spend some time in the light web, well, the becomes stronger.
Absolutely. It's definitely has risen in potency. As a technology, it's definitely risen in potency. It's a lot more potent now with more, we're nearly at 300 altogether,
Mm.
LightWeb activated. So it's definitely, but it's such a powerful and beautiful technology in the fact that we can, you know, it covers every area of your life, from being able to, you know, practical things, to being able to emotionally navigate life, to just that connection with source, the intangible.
Yeah. And the rest for me, it's one of the places when I need a respite and some solace from my whatever life is going on. It's like the chillest place in the universe that I know of. You know, it's like, I can go there and I can drop it, kind of. Whew. And that's
I love
so
that.
cool. So cool.
I love that. That's such a great description. Yes, I have been known there to go there and just drop and just let it go and just chill. And it's such a powerful place to go. If somebody was listening to this and they are feeling drawn to LightWeb, because I think that's the most important thing, that you do feel drawn to this in the first place. Because if you don't feel drawn to this, trust me, it's not for you. But if you do feel drawn to this and you're listening to this interview and they're maybe still sat on the fence, what would you say to a person who's maybe sat on the fence and, you know, through your experiences and stuff like that, but they're feeling drawn, but they don't really know, and they're like, oh, I don't know. What would you say to someone like that?
Trust. That's the basis of LightWeb connection anyway. Trust. If you're feeling drawn, if you're something inside says this is for you, well, it is. You know, and just stop doubting yourself all the time anyway. Yeah. Just go for it.
Beautiful.
I could also say in a different way, LightWeb is the bomb. Just get in there, you know. But I think it's mostly about, I think the first connection with LightWeb is indeed trusting oneself that I need to be there. And that's the first kind of, and then it becomes so comfortable to trust oneself, which is, you know, good idea.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much, Isaya, for sharing your experiences of LightWeb.
My pleasure.
Before you pop off, tell people where they can find you on the interweb. So if they want some of your magic, how can they find you on the internet?
Okay. Well, I have a website. It's called isayabel.com, and basically everything is referenced from there. And if you want to stalk me on social media, I'm Isayabel everywhere. So just, you know, find me. I'm not hiding very much.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming and chat to us about LightWeb.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome.